Hi, today I'm reviewing the Urban Decay One and Done Naked Skin Blur on the Run. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase all these products with my own money, so you know you can trust my opinion is what I honestly believe. And if you want to help support the channel, give this video a thumb up if you like it, or a thumb down if you really hate it. Today I'm reviewing this balm, which just came out recently, and it's meant to be a finishing balm or a touch-up balm. It's kind of similar if you're aware of Mally Cosmetics. She's got a product similar. I think it's called the Face Protector, the Mally's Poreless Defender Balm, which comes in a compact like this, and it's just a clear silicone. And you can take a sponge or your fingers and dab it and then apply it to your skin to help absorb oil. So the products are quite similar. Mally's, I think, is $40 and the Urban Decay is $36. And it's got kind of a skin color. Mally's got a clear silicone and she's got a tan color one as well. But this, for me, is quite similar product in many, many ways. So let me kind of start out with my thoughts and I'll let you know what I think of this. Really quick, I just want to show you a cute picture of my mom's Yorkies that I took a couple days ago. Aren't they just adorable? I just had to show that off because they're so cute. But just the cutest little picture, Gizmo and Gertie. They're like 5 pounds each. I had to show that. So I'm just proud of my photography and the fact that I got them to sit still for more than a minute. Anyway, so number one is the packaging, and the packaging is quite simple, small, certainly easy if you're bringing this with you for touch-ups on the go. Pretty tiny, but it's got a nice mirror, which you can definitely use. So definitely get a thumb up for that. The packaging, similar to this, if there's any antioxidants, they're exposed to light and air, so they're not very effective, but product like this really is more for aesthetic reasons as opposed to skincare, so I'm not going to fault them for that. Number two is Denatured Alcohol, and there is none in this, so they get a thumb up there. Number three is fragrance, and this thankfully is unscented, so always a good thing. Number four is the manufacturing location, and this is made in the U.S. Made in America. So no issues there. Number five is ease of use, and for me, I found it slightly tricky to use, probably mostly because I have dry skin. But the problem I just, with Mally's Poreless Defender Balm, it comes with a nice sponge that you can use to apply it. This just comes with this, so you're kind of left wondering what the best way to use it is. Would you use your fingers? Would you go out and find a good sponge? Would you use a beauty blender? Would you use a brush? I've tried many different ways. I tried my Kat Von D brush, which I got as a point perk. I tried using this, and this seemed to work okay, just dabbing it into the balm and then applying it to specific areas of my face which get oily. But I found this was actually, if you have oily skin, the best way to use this is use this in place of a finishing or setting powder. And that will help your makeup certainly last longer, and then you can touch this up during the day. If you use this on top of a powder, it can get a little too messy unless it's certainly through the day where your skin is a little bit more oily, and this will absorb quite quickly. The one thing is, if you're not a huge fan of silicones in makeup, this is just chock full of them. And my other thing is, if you're very acne prone, take this very slow because some of those silicones can be very poor clogging. So if you have very acne prone skin, I would probably recommend avoiding this. But if you have oily skin but not acne prone, this might be a good lifesaver for you. Or if you've tried the Mally Poreless Balm and you like that, maybe give this one a try. So yeah, so I found the brush, just a thin brush, might be the easiest way. Unless you like sponges, you can apply it like that, but I found the brush might be the easiest way for many people to go. So yeah, I wish they'd have included something with it specifically, or maybe they have a brush coming out that will go with it. But I really wish they would have included something that can help apply this, because it's kind of tricky to find out even what a good brush to use is. So Number 6 is antioxidants and pigmentation, and like I said, there's really no antioxidants in here, so not a ton to be worried about, but just be very leery of all the silicones. I'm not concerned about silicones from a health perspective as much as a pore clogging perspective. So if you have very, very acne prone skin, I would recommend avoiding this. Number 7 is animal testing, and Urban Decay is cruelty free. Performance, it works pretty well at absorbing oil. I'm trying to see if I can do a swatch of it, but I did use this this morning on my forehead and on my nose, so it certainly helped take care of some of the oil, but you can kind of see a little bit on my skin. The blurring effect, in my opinion, on this is way over marketed. It doesn't blur so much as it does just absorb oil, and you get not a ton of product, but a little bit does go a long way. And you can kind of see in my hand that this does have a very light flesh color to it. So I think that if you have darker skin, I would recommend swatching this first, because I'm not sure how much that is going to even out or blur out. Or I would probably recommend going with Mally's, because she has a clear one. So, but definitely can absorb some oil a little bit there, but hard to see, which is actually probably a good thing. That means it's working. So anyway, so price, it's $34, which is a little steep, but like I said, it's cheaper than the Mally Poreless Balm, so it's not ridiculously expensive, and a little bit does go a long way. And then number 10 is the it factor, and for me, it just didn't have the it factor. If it actually did a really great job actually blurring things and absorbing oil, I'd probably give it a thumb up for that, but it's better just in terms of using it as in place of a setting powder or a setting powder there. So anyway, it's okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, if you have dry skin, you probably don't need this, so I'll probably pass it up. But if you have very oily skin, this is something that you might want to consider to kind of keep things at bay, and during the midday, mid-afternoon, apply it to more oily areas. So anyway, I'm interested if you guys have had a chance to check this out yet or not, and if so, what your thoughts were. So leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already. I come with at least one new review every day. And check out nobsbeauty.net. Thank you so much, guys. Hi, this is Sarah from No BS Beauty, and I'm proud to offer you one of my first products. And it is a stainless steel makeup palette. And I've been using ones like these for quite a while, and it makes it a lot easier to mix kind of custom foundation shades, custom serums, custom lip colors. You need something like this in your makeup routine to make things a lot easier. And all the profits from it will go to help the channel, which I'm independent and I purchase all the products with my own money. So definitely all of the profits will go so I can continue to bring you good reviews. But things I like to use are retinol. Retinol is definitely a good thing to use. But sometimes some of them can be a little too strong. So sometimes I like to mix them with other serums. So I'll use this to kind of custom make my retinol at night. So it's a little bit less irritating when you mix it in with something else. Or another thing you can do is mix in a vitamin C. Some of these can be a little oily or greasy, so sometimes it's nice to be able to mix it in with another serum. So I like to use the Clinique one. And I'll mix this in just a little bit, because otherwise sometimes it can be a little too oily. And I'll mix it in, and in the morning I'll apply it all over my face before sunscreen. And another good vitamin C serum I like is the Dermadoctor one, but sometimes using the dropper with that can be a little messy, so sometimes I just like to mix just a little bit in with another serum. I love the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Serum, definitely a holy grail of mine. And I like to mix that in with it as well. Or sometimes before I go to bed, if I've got something else going on the next day, I like to mix in a little bit of tanner, self-tanner, but sometimes if you use it alone, it can get a little too orange. or a little too dark. So sometimes mixing that in with another serum makes it definitely a lot better and a lot more moisturizing for your skin as well. So definitely something you can use in your serums, or your kind of custom make your own skincare routine by using that and mixing up all these products. So definitely something worth considering there. And I also like to use it to mix in some of my custom foundations. So let me show you that too. Another thing I've been using this palette for is mixing and kind of customizing my own foundation. You can almost create a specific color if you have certain foundations that don't mesh well with your skin tone or even your skin texture. You can almost create your own custom foundation. One foundation I love is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro. However, sometimes I can find it to be a little too drying and almost kind of giving you more of a matte finish. So sometimes I'll mix in a little bit of the Josie Mara and Argan Moonstone drops with it, and then use it. And it kind of helps kind of lessen the color and kind of give it a little bit more of a glowy look. Another thing I like to use is mixing in sometimes with oil with a foundation. And sometimes that gives you more of a dewy look. So sometimes I'll mix that in with the Dr. Jart. And it helps give you a little bit more of a glow to it. So sometimes mix in just a little bit in. And you definitely want to be careful with what you're mixing, just to make sure that the ingredients are compatible, because certain types of foundations don't work well with certain types of other ingredients. But something to consider, definitely. But you can almost create your own custom look. I love this. But sometimes I feel like I need a little bit of a glow to it. So I'll mix in some of my NYX Born to Glow Illuminator with it. So you can definitely do that. Also, Cover FX makes a great, they're custom cover drops, but you can use these to alter the color of any foundation. So this is great to mix that with. Just give it a couple drops there. And then mix that in with another foundation to make it either lighter or darker. The Ordinary Serum foundation is great, but I found it difficult to get the exact color. So sometimes mixing the other colors works well. Cover FX also has these new glitter drops. So sometimes it's nice to be able to use this to mix in with either a foundation or just to put it on this. And then you can use a brush to either dip it in and apply it as eyeshadow, or dip it in and apply it onto lips as kind of a lipstick cover. So there's definitely some great options, and definitely love some of Cover FX's custom enhancer drops. But you can use this to mix it in with almost any different type of foundation and add a little bit of color here and there. But definitely using this, and if you use a sponge or a beauty blender, you can get that damp and then just use this to dip it in and apply it. It makes it a heck of a lot easier than trying to do it in your hand, or I don't know where else you would even, maybe the lid of another product, but this definitely makes all of that a heck of a lot easier. So it's definitely something worth picking up. And all of the profits from the sales of this palette will go to support my independent reviews. I purchase all the products myself just so I can give you an honest opinion, as opposed to somebody that gets the products for free to review. I personally like to purchase them so I can give you my completely objective review without having to feel like I owe a company anything because they gave me something free. So all the profits will go to help support those reviews.